Well, it's December 21st. It's been a minute since I put something out. I do have some footage. Um, I got to spend a night at a place. I think it'd be real cool. I'll eventually try to get it on the channel, but I got it on three different devices, and I'm not really sure on how to bring it all together. And I most certainly don't want to post 36 different 5 minute or 6 minute videos or whatever they are. But I'm gonna try to get it too on here. As far as the start of Bethlehem, it's supposed to be tonight. I'm not sure what time, so I'll have to look. It is the 21st, right? Yeah, it's the 21st. I think it'd be pretty cool. If anything, just to have a picture because no one alive today has seen it. I mean, they said 800 years or something. So it'd be cool to see what it's all about. You know, I don't think it's one of those things you can make a wish on though. But I want to sit and talk a little bit. Uh, you know, some you know it's getting a little weirder. You know, I don't want to be all dumb and glum, but I'm not sure what's going to happen. They did pass a bill, so I think that's going to help a lot of people, and it's going to help some independent venues too, as far as money. I don't know if it's too little, too late. As far as the industry concerned, I mean, Spartan Security, as far as the guard service didn't survive. I mean, we're still attempting to consult. Um, there's just nothing out there. I mean, the only thing that's out there is a really, really big league guys, and even some of them are sitting. You know what I mean? So there is some that are working, and I'm talking like real big guys. Main guys. As far as like the big celebrities, but as far as the rest of us, there's just not a lot. I think that Rat Pack out of Florida, they must have some kind of connection or something because they seem to be busy on both ends of things. And I think they said something about they're going to be a Super Bowl supplier, but they hire several companies. The main one is usually safe. The same people that do Ford Field, or at least it has been for the last few years. I don't know if anything's changed, but I mean the places that I consult for, like Harpo's, I hope they can get some. You know what I mean? Because he still got to pay his bills. I mean, you still got to pay your liquor license. You still got to pay your taxes. You still got to pay all that stuff, even though the building's been empty now for over a year. I think the last show was November 2019, and it was Phil and the Illegals, which was an amazing show. If you get a chance on YouTube, it's amazing. I'm the one. I'm actually wearing this hat. I'm in the front row. I'm actually between the stage and the crowd. There's no barriers at Harpo's, so they usually put people because the stage is so huge. It's usually I mean, not many people can get up it. I mean, it's probably like 10 feet. So you have to be really, really dedicated. And we did have one. One got through me. So I had my hands on somebody else. But we're, as far as here, I mean, we're okay. I mean, there's a lot of people worse off than we are. So I can't be, woe is me. Um, I mean, all we can do is just stay in the trenches and try to fight it out. Hopefully something will change, and hopefully something really cool will come along. I do wanna. I did reread this again. Dick Grohl passed um, earlier this year, and but anyway, he wrote a book. If you get a chance to read it, it's absolutely amazing. Um, I mean, it tells the whole story. It doesn't hold punches, and it's. I mean, if you're a security guy, it's a must read. If you're an Elvis fan, it's a must read. If you're a security guy and an Elvis fan, it's an absolutely must read. Um, and I think it's the Memphis Pawn Shop, Elvis Pawn Shop is where you can get them. I know here in the U.S., I'm not sure overseas, but I don't think, with 7 subscribers, I don't think anybody's going to be overseas watching this. But if you are, send me a message. I'll tell you where to get it at. But, he's one of the giants in the industry. A lot of the stuff that the Elvis folks did was cutting edge, and practices that are still used now. I mean, so you have to honor the folks before you, especially the great ones. I know that Prince's, there's a couple of them still alive, but Prince's main one, which was Big Chick, I don't remember his whole name, and I should, but I don't. He passed years and years ago. Um, he had a book that was half finished or a quarter finished, and his family was able to put it together. I don't remember the name of it. I know it's kind of a, I hate to say controversy, but I think the name really kind of jumps out with you. I can't remember what it is. It's White something. I can't remember what it is. But so anytime you get a chance to honor the people in the industry, you should. This is my second video, and I keep looking at this, and I look high, and I'm not, and I don't know if it's because the lights on the outside or something. There's lights on the windows in front of me. I could try taking off my glasses, but I don't know if that will help. But this the neighborhood we're in now. It's when I first came back, I was a kid in here. When I was a kid in here, it was a lot different. They had ice rinks and they had football fields and baseball fields, and they used to fund Gus Macker tournaments. There'd be 4 or 5 teams that would come out of here every year. We'd play in those every year. Even after I moved out of here like in 8th grade. Then when I came back, it was empty. Like in my particular block, there was maybe 5 houses, and over the last couple of years, 2 different owners, they filled up the empty lots, which is cool. So it's cool to see. Gosh, it's cool to see that. Unfortunately, it is bringing in some issues. Since COVID, like probably, last week of March, we had a series of shootings. That where people were actually shooting at each other. It wasn't just driving by and shooting. They were actually gunfighting against each other a couple blocks away. Somehow our trailer was hit, but I don't know if it was from that or if it was from something else. But it was around the same time frame. Since then, there's been a lot of break-ins, but not just here, but in the general community, not only in the township. I live in a township that's part of a city that's involved in a bigger township, so there's a ton of police. It really is, between state police, our township police. You get DNR officer all the time out here. You get Washtenaw County, you get Wayne County, because I kind of live at a break. Across the street of our subdivision is Washtenaw, and over here is Wayne. My glasses ain't really helping matter. Hang on a second. So it's been getting odd in the last couple months. A drug house popped up on the street, really, really close. And, young Thundercats, and they just didn't care. Apparently they were jacking cars, at gunpoint, and then bringing them here. The first couple of nights they parked them on the block. You had Cadillacs, and you had a Mercedes SUV, and then you had a Mercury, SUV, and there was a Mustang too, but I think I only saw the Mustang one day. And these bastards, I'm telling you, they were flying up the street like 100 miles an hour. 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, even in broad daylight when the park was here. If you live in a community that has a clubhouse with the office there, if you're going to do dirt, you try to do dirt when they're not here. Or when you're not in, if you're going to conduct yourself that way. But these guys, they didn't give a shit. And me and Jen kept on saying that it's, if you lived in an area of violence, or if you lived in, not necessarily a city, but if you've seen that kind of stuff, there's certain things that happen. It's and with this one, it happened really, really quick. Because I'm telling you, man, they were last week, 2 weeks ago. A fight broke out in the block to where one guy was pulled out of a moving car that he was driving. So the vehicle hits the car in front of it. So guns get pulled out, cops get called, and this has been like this for months here. I don't know what's going on with my eyes, but yeah. So everybody, I don't know if I'm scared, but I didn't. I've had a CPL, since I was 21. Probably a month after I turned 21, I think I got it. Maybe 2 months after I turned 21, I got it. Um, I have to admit, maybe when I was younger, I might have carried every day. Obviously, as I had a job where I carried every, I had to carry. Then obviously I carried. As I got older, you know what I mean. As I could have a pocket revolver, I would carry that. If not, then sometimes I just wouldn't carry. And it got to the point to where, I was only carrying when your gut tells you. You know what I mean? And I've always listened to that. Well, I shouldn't say always listen to it, but when it comes to that kind of thing, it's always been right. In the security industry, even when I was younger, I was able to, predict fights. Because you could feel it. You could feel the electricity in the air. You know what I mean? Like if, I've learned that through the malls. You know what I mean? If you can sit out there, it's almost like I don't know, like static energy or whatever you want to call it, but you could feel it. Um, and if you're out there, then and they're out there. You're all dealing with the same thing with the heat, and especially around Christmas time. Obviously, probably not this year, but if you worked in the malls during Christmas time, it would get huge. I worked at it would probably be a medium sized mall and a local mall, but it had some really cool national stores, and it still does. They don't have a lot of food places, but it never really did. But it would pack. It would be packed, and you can feel that energy off people. And if you allow it to affect you, their bad day would be your bad day. That's one thing that we were always told that I was told from people about, that hired me in, and that I ended up telling, the 10 or 11 years I was there when I was hiring people in, that you can't. It's not a place you can come in here in a bad mood. It's not going to get better. You know what I mean? You can't come in here, not in the right mindset, because so much plays into it. But we were responding to, medical. With the AED and oxygen, and several of us had saves with the AED. It was pretty amazing there for a while. But anyway, I learned to use that, in festivals. If you can feel that. You can feel the person's stress. Like I said, it's almost like electricity or whatever you want to say. You can feel that on somebody, and you most certainly could feel it in a crowd, especially if it's hot, because if you're hot, they're hot. You know what I mean? So I don't even know where I was going with that. But anyway, stress this year. Oh, that's what I was doing. That stress. You know, I like the malls. I had a good time in the malls. Some of the best and worst times. It was pretty cool. Um, but being it's 2020, I don't know. I got to get back to what I was talking about. Not everyone's on their A game. Obviously, not everyone is in the right frame of mind. That's like if I saw earlier this morning. One of the YouTube guys has a surplus store. I'm not sure if it's surplus and guns, but apparently they got broken into. And here last week, we had one in Livonia, a gun shop that was broken into, and they didn't get nothing. So obviously the security was good there. But we've had gun shops out west, like Kalamazoo and Grand Rapids. They got in there, several times and sold hundreds of guns. So a surplus store, a gun store, it's probably the worst and best business to have right now, because there's so many people preparing for war. If they got money, they're going to buy your stuff. Since there's so many people preparing for war, and if they don't have money, they're going to steal your stuff. And I think that's what's going on. I think people are legitimately preparing for war. Now, there's been a lot of people for years. When I was with the Watchmen. I met a lot of the older fellas that, the amount of prepping that they had, and this is years ago, and I don't even know if these guys are still alive, but the amount of prepping that these guys had, I mean, there are just people out there that, had, they could legitimately arm, rifle, and pistol, the 30 or 40 people and the ammo for it. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of people that's got the head on you. I mean, and prepping obviously is not just guns and ammo, although because of the current situation, that's what everyone's going for. But food too, and that's where the other thing where the food, guns and ammo may come in, because if they don't got it, they got a gun, they may come and take it. The other thing we used to say, if something did happen, if you were in the cities, you're probably not going to get out. If by the time you realize that you should get out, you probably can't get out. In this summer, we kind of, that was put to test. Like when I was starting out in security, the whole active shooter thing was a newer thought. Obviously, they've been dealing with it for a couple of years, but it was a newer thing, and one of the first things that a lot of people do is how to get everybody out of the building quickly. Well, you simply pull a fire alarm, get everybody out. But then people continue to thinking about that. Did you make a target-rich environment? You know what I mean? I don't know. To me, I mean, unless you're in a real secure place, sitting still is never good. I think that's why the accuracy of those, not that those people were great shooters, that a lot of those targets are sitting still. I mean, it's pretty easy to hit somebody with a rifle that, 20 feet away. But anyway, get off that. That's a lot of us must, you must come down and think about, God dang. Sorry about that, but since I haven't got the edit thing in, all that's going to be in it. Slipped off my chair. But, yeah, so it's weird. It's, I don't know. The first time in my life, I'm kind of duh. I mean, part of me, says, well, pack up, head to the mountains, but realistically, it's wintertime. Is it the best time to head to the mountains? Probably not. And that I don't know if I have the equipment for the mountains. I got the equipment probably for a prairie or a hill. Probably not a mountain. But anyway, I wanted to get out here and talk. And like I said, I still don't know where I'm going with this page. I just want to, do something for the generation, after me, so they get to know who I am. I mean, I know if I can come up with a topic or something that would be cool, you can make money off the stuff. But I don't know if I'm going to do that. Then I was going to do, most of the information that, as I said before in an earlier video that we have, is from diaries, from a video diary. Or not video diary, but from diary of like the American Civil War. So I was going to do that. Maybe do a diary, but do a video diary. But, and maybe that's what it'll turn out to be. But I do got some cool video I want to try to put together and put it up there. And then I'm thinking about going out to River Raisin Battlefield and doing a couple things out there. Obviously, the building I don't think is open, but it's a real small battlefield, So you can pull in the parking lot, or maybe I'll do something from the Custer statue or something. I don't know. Anyway. Maybe I'll do another one today. Maybe I'll do one tomorrow. But have a great day. We'll talk to you later.